One sec.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Give me a second, I'm trying to select the appropriate weapon. Watch who you stepping, them snakes all around, you know they connected. When I was a kid, my grandmama told me I can't go to heaven. So I stopped praying and asking for blessings and started preparing for my Armageddon. Got nothing to lose, I'm all in. Walking in the edge, don't fall in. Enough of the lies, don't apologize. I don't understand, are you foreign? This is the place, this is the site. Grab all your people and log in. I'm waiting, don't care how long it's gonna take.
All right, what up? Live back in action with week 1 done. Week 2 is coming through, and the 3rd and 3 podcast has got the breakdown for you. Welcome back for another fun-filled football edition of the 3rd and 3 podcast with me and my supreme co-host, Tricky Nicky Giss and the real deal Damian Adams in the house. My name is Jason Fearman, a.k.a. The Sports Prophet, and this show is presented by The Sports Column and brought to you by Reebok. Reebok, the new colorways of the women's classic leather SP, gives these vintage shoes a fresh look. Check them out along with the Allen Iverson's new Reebok Question Mid. You can get that all, 3rd3podcast.com. Click the link. We'll let you in. You get the discount. It's that freaking simple, baby. Let's get to my friends over here, my co-hosts, my partners. What's going on, Tricky Nicky Gist?
What's up? Oh, my God. Week 1 in the books, and the Giants won.
How about that, right?
First win of the home opener in 6 friggin' years.
It's like a late birthday present for you.
Yes. I'll take it.
All right. The Giants maybe made some good picks, and maybe we'll see if they pan out. They're doing pretty good over here. Wonderful.
We'll see.
You also pulled one out with one of your picks over there, looking good. Your receivers looking good. Jameis Winston making it happen after a rocky start, but damn, you guys got to win also, because I don't know what that feels like in week 1.
Yeah, no, it definitely was absolutely crazy. We were at a bar watching it, going nuts in the 4th quarter when we started coming back, because I thought for sure it was over. I was like, oh my God, I'm up here from every Atlanta Falcons fan. Everybody, it's going to be such a bad week, and they came back and pulled it out. It was unbelievable.
I can't believe what happened with the Niners. It was terrible. I was just like,
Oh, hell no.
they could not believe what was going on. It pissed me off to no freaking end. The weather had a lot to do with it, so I'm not freaking out about Trey Lance right now. I will not do it now. It's not going to happen. It's not the time. I don't want to hear any Jimmy G chants. Forget about it. So that's done. All right, so week 1, like we said, is done, but we're going to backtrack just for a second over here in neighborhood news because there were so many injuries, guys. So I got to ask you, out of these 3 major injuries to teams who are playoff contenders, even though we think that one isn't, that would be Dak out 6 to 8 weeks with getting thumb surgery. They say maybe he'll get back a little bit earlier, but still at least 4 weeks, 6 weeks probably. Eli Mitchell, my running back for the Niners, out for 2 months. A lot of people say, yeah, you could plug in any guy in that system. No, you really can't. Not just any guy. He's a special player, and he showed it last year, and we're going to really miss him for 2 months. That's a big problem for a team who's already started out 0-1 to a poor Chicago Bear team. And lastly, guys, is TJ Watt, who knew the second it happened that he tore his pec muscle. So he could be done actually for the season, but at minimum 6 weeks. So I ask you, out of these 3, Damian, Dak, Eli Mitchell, TJ Watt, everything considered, which is the biggest injury to the team? Which one's going to hurt the most?
Oh, of course, the one that you think about is quarterback, but I'm actually going to go with TJ Watt. Pittsburgh, they're probably on a cloud 9 after beating Cincinnati in such a crazy game.
For sure.
And to have that happen when they depend so much on that defense, right? Because it's not like Trubisky looked good. So
Yes.
you depend a lot on that defense to try to win games. And TJ Watt is a huge part of it. And he was amazing in that game. Like, it was literally 2 back-to-back plays where he gets the sack, then he turns around and gets an interception. Like, he was just doing everything out there before he got hurt. So to see him playing so well and then get hurt really sucks.
No, that's what he does, man. Again, tied the all-time sack record with 22.5 last year, Nicky, as you know. I mean, that would be my answer, believe it or not, going over the quarterback, because I don't see Dallas having a good year anyway as it is. But Pittsburgh, as you know, I picked them to go to the playoffs, and they look good in week 1 doing that. They almost gave it up a little bit. Obviously, the Bengals had a chance to win it, but that would be it for me. TJ Watt is a tremendous loss when you talk about one of the top 3 pass rushers in the game. But would you go differently? Would you go Dak? Would you even go Eli Mitchell, Nicky?
No, I'm with you guys because he's what helps generate the consistent pass rush, and that has to be a concern for them going forward. So yeah, I mean Dak, that sucks, but again, like I wasn't really that high on Dallas this year, so that was a brutal game for them.
Oh wow, what an awful game to watch, huh? Jeez.
They just like, and I remember I said this, it was like not me being a Dak hater, it's the fact that all of the elements around him that he can't control, and it was penalty after penalty after penalty, just playing themselves out of a win, right? And just Mike McCarthy just looking like lost as usual. Like, I just don't love it for them this year.
You know, one thing from that game that stood out to me that I don't like, the NFL, you're not the NBA, you're not baseball. Don't do between quarter interviews. Don't leave that to the NBA, leave it to Major League Baseball, other sports where it's more conducive to doing that.
Well, you can argue that Mike McCarthy doesn't do a lot of coaching anyway, so he can do as much sideline talk as he wants.
Yeah.
You know, so you can really argue that fact, obviously.
I mean, that's on him to coach that team up. I mean, how many times are they going to lose a game, a winnable game, on friggin' like 5-6 penalties in a row, no less? One after the other.
I got to tell you, other than that offensive line, I think the wide receiving core is definitely hurting. The fact that, look, Amari Cooper, we're not all big fans of, but his presence alone does demand attention. So him not being there, no Cedric Wilson. Obviously, they're not as afraid of Zeke as they used to be. Pollard didn't show up as much. It doesn't look good for Dallas at all. It really don't. It's bad. It's bad.
Zeke probably was the one bright spot, honestly, in that game.
He did pretty good. He did okay. Yeah, he did all right. That's true. You know, he can't get.
He morphed up in that helmet, that Power Ranger helmet.
Oh my God! Right? That helmet's like supersonic space age freaking polymer helmet, man. That's crazy. Yeah. That's like what the astronauts use. That thing is nuts, man. No, it does. It almost looks like an Iron Man helmet, for God's sake. Yeah. I think it's crazy, right? Yeah, but pretty cool looking, I will say. Pretty cool. Anyway, all right, let's get to a little bit more news over here before we get to who had the best day and get into our picks and who won last week and all that good stuff. So here we go. A little more news
from the world of sports.
A few more injuries to go over. Not that we're going to spend a lot of time on it, guys, but Chris Godwin's going to be out for maybe a couple of more games, and we feared it was the ACL, but it seems it's a hamstring. Keenan Allen also hamstring. That's for tomorrow night's game that we're going to talk about, so that will factor into our decision most likely. J.C. Jackson, same team. He's going to miss another week. Both of those against missing the Chiefs on Thursday night is a big problem. Najee Harris has a Liz Frank injury. That's the foot injury, but it seems like he's going to come back and play anyway, so we'll see how that goes. Mac Jones has got a back injury. He's likely to play. George Kittle out again. Guys, he's been killing me, man. He gets hurt way too often now. He's become like a liability. I mean, really, he plays less now than he plays more.
Yeah.
Probably.
Nah, George Kittle really has become more of a name than a player at this point.
Honestly, right, Nikki? I mean, it's too bad because he's a hell of a player. When he's on the field, he's fantastic, but he's not on the field anymore.
No, he's not. It's a shame, too, because he's such a good player, right? He's such a great talent. A beast when he's out there, just can't get out there, can't stay out there.
Right. People are putting him on the Travis Kelce level, you know, when he was doing his thing, but he's just not doing it. And it's a killer because we really need him for our team. And again, for a young quarterback like Trey Lance, you really want to have that tight end over there as your blanket. Justin Simmons is going to miss 4 games for the Broncos. That's a problem after an ugly, ugly Monday night loss, guys. That was just terrible. And we'll talk about a couple of things that happened in that game. We're not going to gloss over that. And lastly, Harrison Butker, this is not to be glossed over either. The Chiefs kicker is not going to play tomorrow night, so special teams could be a factor for them. Patrick Mahomes is going to have to put the ball in the end zone, and it wasn't a problem doing it against Arizona. Guys did it 5 times, so I think
no issues at all.
No.
Right? No. Let me ask you guys, who had the best day? All right, I wrote down a few different players here, and I'll give you their stats for week 1. Khalil Mack, great debut with the Chargers, 3 sacks, a forced fumble, and 6 tackles. You got Mahomes, who I just alluded to, 360 yards, 5 touchdowns. Guy is ridiculous. Justin Jefferson, your boy, D, off to a great start, your offensive player of the year, 9 catches, 184 yards, 2 TDs. Saquon Barkley, Nikki, 164 yards, a touchdown, but more impressive, 9 yards per carry. Beautiful. Amazing. Yeah. Jordan Hicks for the Minnesota Vikings, 14 tackles, a sack, a forced fumble. And last, Minkah Fitzpatrick with 14 tackles, an interception, and a touchdown, which he returned on that interception for a TD. So out of those 6 guys, Damien, who do you think had the best day?
Man, a lot of really good days out there. You didn't even mention AJ Brown. He had a monster day.
Yeah, that's true. He did.
Yeah, like there's a lot of great performances in week one.
He had
my
100.
guy though, Justin Jefferson. I was watching that game. He was just unguardable. The Packers could do nothing with him. He was just getting open whenever he wanted to get open. That offense looks really good for Minnesota right now. I know they only scored 23, but they could have scored more. It seems like in the second half, you're like, okay, Green Bay's not doing anything. Aaron Rodgers lost total faith in his receivers. So we'll be at a cruise for the rest of the day. But they looked really good, and Justin Jefferson is a monster.
We used to talk about Jay Cutler's body language. Aaron Rodgers' body language is terrible, Nikki. I mean, he shows exactly what he's thinking. It is bad, right, Nick?
Oh, man. I don't know. Who has the worst body language, Jay Cutler or Kenny Galladay? Because, I mean, Jay Cutler, like, I feel him, though. He's just permanently aggravated, and that's my natural state. Like, just always, like, annoyed at people. So I feel him, though. But, yeah, no, the body language is just, well, I don't understand. Like, Aaron Rodgers looks like some, like, I don't know, some hippie pirate or something. Like, what is going on with this look?
I like it. He should be wearing a patch on his eye or something.
I don't get it.
Well, Minnesota put it to him, man. They sure did.
Yeah.
Let the horns blow. They put it to him. No doubt about it. All right. So you're going to go with Justin Jefferson. Nikki, who are you going to go with? Khalil Mack, Mahomes, Jefferson, your boy Saquon Barkley, Jordan Hicks, or Minkah Fitzpatrick?
Obviously, I'm going with my boy Saquon because I was right. I told you all Saquon was back. I've said it all summer. I've had people either agree with me or call me crazy, say I didn't know what I was talking about. I don't know football. Well, looks like Nikki does know what she's talking about. And so some people actually messaged me and were like, hey, Nick, I took your advice and I drafted Saquon. He had a great game. He looks great. No, he does. From where he was last year to the performance that he put on, he literally was just like, I'm carrying this team on my back. We are doing this. He looked fantastic, which I fully expected that he would.
See, that's the thing. If he's healthy, he's going to play like that. That's the entire thing. Like, he doesn't need a great offensive line or, dynamic wide receivers to take the attention off of him. He's amazing. And we saw that on the 2-point conversion, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So, definitely very impressive. If I had to pick one, wow. Oh, man. Both of you guys' answers are really good, but I may have to go with Mahomes saying, you know what? Tyreek Hill, this. 5 touchdowns, 360 yards on the road. I know it's against Arizona, no big deal, but damn. If there was a question if Patrick Mahomes is not the best quarterback in the league, then I think that question is just answered right now. It's just unbelievable.
I don't know, man. Josh Allen, I guess we forgetting about it because it seems like it's so long ago, but Josh Allen against the Rams.
I don't forget. I'm with you. Look, I have them like as close as possible as you can be, but if somebody said you have to pick one, I would take Patrick Mahomes.
But can I just but he's always good. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's rarely not good. And the reason I would say Saquon out of everybody is because of where he was last year and all the doubt that was cast upon him and him being completely frustrated with himself and the rehabbing process. So for him to have very low expectations and come out and do what he did, that kind of blew everybody away if you weren't around the team and seeing it. But for Patrick Mahomes to come out and have a great game is like, okay, and today's Wednesday.
Okay. I hear you. I mean, again, it's performer of the week, but again, you could take it in any context you want. So that's all good. It is. I just think, again, it's like,
definitely a solid choice right there. He
all of them are. Yeah. There's no wrong answer at all. Saquon's a great 9 yards a carry. What are you kidding me? That's great. Yeah, and he's the reason why they won. Which brings us to the gutsy call and the putsy call of the week. And the gutsy call is Brian Daboll going for 2. I knew he was going to do it. I just had a feeling. I'm like, he's a new coach. They're going to put a stamp on the team. Like, we're coming out of here with a win or a loss. Either way, that's the way it's going to be, Nikki. And the play was a bust. It really was a bust. I mean, the Titans had him. But Barkley put on this unbelievable move, kept his balance, and got in the end zone. And they get out of Tennessee with the win. And you know what? They almost lost the damn game, too, because Tennessee should have and probably could have kicked that field goal, right?
Yeah, well, Darnay Holmes just wanted to. If you saw my tweet, I was tweeting the Red Hot Chili Peppers, give it away now, because Darnay Holmes just wanted to just give it away in the last 30 seconds here. Yeah, no, props to Brian Dable, who said all summer he was going to be aggressive. And when he was asked about going for 2, he said, well, you go for the win. We are playing aggressive. You go for the win. And I like the call there. I did. Even if they didn't get it, I still think that was the right call. They executed it. And I really think, that like just flip the switch for them. Like they were ready to go. Sometimes mentally, that kicks your team into the next level and into high gear. So, yeah. I mean, listen, I like a coach with, you got to have the balls to do it sometimes. And the Giants haven't had a coach like that in a very long time.
That's all well said. And you know what? And it's definitely a confidence booster for your team where it shows that your coach does have that faith in the team to go ahead and get the job done. And it's just a couple of yards, go ahead, unlike Nathaniel Hackett, not letting Russell Wilson do it. But we'll get to that in a second. Something tells me we'll just get to that in a second. D, I'm more old school. Normally I would kick the extra point, but in that case, I actually agree with it. I feel like they needed to go for the win right there because I feel like, if they tie, he's probably thinking Tennessee's going to come down and kick a field goal anyway. Let's put pressure on them, sort of thing. So did you like the call?
I did. And I think that we have to adjust our thinking on those type of situations because the extra point is no longer 19 yards.
That's right.
Back in the day where you had the extra point right there, you take the extra point because you're going to make 99.9% of them. Now with the extra point being further back, you see people missing those sometimes. So if you,
I think it's now 33 yards. That's not close. That's not a chip shot at all.
No, it's not. It's not guaranteed. So when you have a situation where you can go from 2 yards, you have a Saquon Barkley, a Derrick Henry, a Jonathan Taylor, anybody like that, I would take my chances with that.
Yeah, no doubt. I hear you. And you know what? It paid off. Unlike the crazy putsy call of the week, which we all know what's coming, and that is Nathaniel Hackett, rookie head coach. This is just inexcusable. I don't care if you're a rookie head coach. Really, I'm sitting there watching the game last night. I'm like, you paid this guy $200+ million, guaranteed $133 million. Whatever. Give him the ball. Let him do what he's got to do. Going for a 64-yard field goal, which has only been done once in the history of the entire freaking league. We're going back 100 years. It's happened one time. One player has done it for that amount of yards. You don't do that. You give the ball to Russell Wilson and you go get 5 yards or whatever it is. It didn't make any sense the way that he ran it. And again, I'm sitting there watching the play clock go down, D, and I'm like, you have just got to be kidding me. This is the plan?
Yeah, do the Peyton Manning. It was
all time out, please.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
They pocketed 3 freaking turnovers. The unreal.
Yeah, not the
timeout turnover. Timeouts. I'm sorry,
but turnovers are 2 fumbles within the 5-yard line, going for it at the goal line. I don't think I've ever seen a game given away in this way. This might be the worst case of, like Nikki said, give it away now. Like this,
yes.
I don't know if it was Pete Carroll's birthday. If a fan was like, "Oh, this is my last wish. I want to see Seattle win." Something happened where Denver just gave that game away. They did everything they could to give it away. And not like you guys mentioned, you pay Russell Wilson for those moments to get you 5 more yards, to get you closer. And if you get to 45, 50 yards, then okay, that's when you take the field goal. But before that, like you mentioned, he wasted 40 seconds. They just standing around, not knowing what's going on. How are you not ready for this moment? Not ready to know what you're going to do in that moment?
No. Terrible, absolutely terrible. And the Broncos paid Russ to boil water, not cook. Apparently, that's what they did at this point. But Nathaniel Hackett was thinking afterwards, because he did admit that he was wrong. He said,
"It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up."
I think so.
Right, Nikki? I mean, that is. Can you even justify doing what he did? Did he think he was in Denver and the ball was going to carry longer? What was his thoughts?
Maybe. I don't know. That is why D has his very clever screen name this evening with us, because apparently he can't hack it. So
it's fine. I came this close to picking him for my coach of the year. Thankfully, it went Nick Sirianni because they actually won the game. Jesus Christ. Wow.
But it was on Monday night. Everybody's watching. It's the worst time to have one of the worst coaching performances we've ever seen.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Not great. You got to pick a a Sunday 1:00 game and there's 14 other ones going on. No one's really paying attention.
Yeah.
One of those
Right,
games
exactly.
in London when it's on super early, everybody's not up yet.
Yeah.
One of those games.
That's when you do it, Nathaniel.
Yeah.
Not Monday Night Football.
Well, listen to Mike's sneaky idea that Russ should have called timeout. Then Hackett take the blame. Russ needs to override his coach there. That's not in Russ's DNA, I don't think. But I hear you, man. Jeez, Peyton Manning would have done that.
I do agree with that somewhat, though. Russ is a veteran. Their coaching staff is very, very young. Russ has been in a situation hundreds of times. He should, in that situation, be like, "Hey, let me call timeout," or "Hey, we got to get the play in." Like, he should be more adamant about that. He was kind of relaxing too, and I'm like, what's going on here? Why is everybody chilling? And I'm thinking the same thing. Shannon Sharp was yelling on the screen, "Kick what? You better kick the field goal?" Like, what is going on right now? Oh my God!
You guys didn't watch the Manning cast?
No, I didn't. I personally didn't. I just thought like first game, I'm not going to watch it, but I do. I plan on watching it. It's not as good as a 3rd and 3 cast, but I'll watch it. Yo, Courtney, what up, man? Real quick, Mike. If the Broncos coach or the Chargers coach to win a game for your life, look, he knows me. So who would I pick? Is there an option C where I can forfeit the game or at least get a bye or something? Who would I really pick? I don't know. I would have to say Nathaniel Hackett because so far he hasn't made as many mistakes. Hopefully he'll learn from this one. But good gracious, God in heaven, that was awful. Oh God, here we go. All right, week 1 in the books. Right, we're done. So let's go over our picks. How did we do? Week 1 is always weird, guys. So let's not get crazy over here. Nikki, of course, you get a pass. Look, 7-8-1. It was a weird week. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Damien, not too bad. 9-6-1. Oh, and by the way, Nikki, you got 1.5 locks because, of course, Indy tied. We all had Indy, as a matter of fact, to lock, and of course they tied.
I freaking hate ties. I hate ties in the NFL. Why are we having a tie? Like
they should have been got rid of ties so long ago. There shouldn't be ties in professional sports.
And what do they do? I don't know. Have the quarterback throw it at a target or something like that. I don't care. As long as it's not the kicker's kicking. But they should do something. They got to do something.
Just play till somebody scores. I don't know what the answer is. Maybe just make it very simple. You play till somebody scores, and that's it. Like there should not be a tie.
No, there should be not in football. There's no room for it. There's only a finite amount of games. I don't think it makes any freaking sense. So no, I'm with you. D, not bad at all. Like I said, bro, you got 1.5 locks as well. Again, the 49ers did not lock, much to my hate of life that didn't happen, but whatever. 9-6-1. 9-6-1 for you. And I beat you by just a game, bro. So I take week 1. I went 10-5-1. And it's funny how the game that turned it all around was the Giant game. If you had won that one, you would have beat me. And of course, the Giants ended up pulling out the 2-point conversion. Yeah. And I got 2.5 locks, again, thanks to Indy. Otherwise, I would have had 3, but they had to screw me over. Anyway, but 3rd and 3.
Honestly, Houston should feel like they lost that game.
They should. They never should have lost that game. They gave it away, unfortunately. Yeah, they really did. And Matt Ryan, it's week 1. They're going to need to get their stuff together. Jonathan Taylor did his thing, but it's going to take Matt Ryan a little bit to get his stuff together with that team. And he's a good quarterback, and they'll figure it out.
A lot of teams need to get it
together,
including the Rams.
There's certain teams who we can have a high reaction to, but most teams you're like, let's not overreact. Let's see more.
Yeah. And that's
right?
that's
are you ready to write the Rams off? Like, no. Like, give them a couple weeks. Like, maybe they need a couple weeks. They need to understand that, like, it's not just Cooper Kupp. Like, you've got to run an offense without just Cooper Kupp. God forbid something happens to him. But like the week 1 overreaction is just comical sometimes.
Yeah. For me, you got to give it like at least 3 weeks in order to start getting some sort of an idea of what the teams are all about for real. And it does seem like we're having a tie every year, Courtney. You're right about that. You're absolutely right.
Can both teams
Pittsburgh seems to fall in there all the time, and it comes out to their benefit as well. It really does. Before moving on, what does Mike got to say for this one? Yeah, can both teams have an ugly tie contest if they end up in overtime? Oh, man, I love it. I love when they jump in. Beautiful. But listen, our best bet of the week, which was Chiefs -6 going into Arizona, that came through. So if you listen to us, you made some money. Congratulations. Absolutely. And speaking of which, let's get to bragging rights and crow bites. What do you think about that, D? You ready to do it?
Yes, sir.
All right.
One of my favorite segments. This is where we get to pick one thing that we got correct and brag about. We also have to eat a little crow and tell you something that we got wrong. So let's start with the negative. I know that's where Nikki likes to stay. So
Of
we're going to
course.
start with the crow bites and start with Nikki.
Yeah, so I need to eat crow on me thinking that New England was going to do something. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe put a little too much trust into Bill Belichick over there. And I also gave Seattle no credit whatsoever. I had no faith in Geno Smith. I did not think they were going to come out and play that the way that they did. So I got it really, really wrong on New England and Seattle. Like, didn't even give Seattle a chance. I kind of laughed and was like, yeah, okay, sure.
Now with Seattle, of course, I picked Denver as well, but I did say it would be a close game because Pete Carroll knows Russell Wilson. But I can't even really give Seattle credit. They played okay, but Denver totally just gave that game away. And with New England, they announced that morning, I think I texted you guys, that Matt Patricia is going to be calling the plays.
Yeah.
And I tweeted out a picture of somebody running with a briefcase full of money. I was like, this is me running with all my money on Miami. Like, once they announced that, I was like, oh, they're losing. They're definitely done. So that's one thing. It won't be my bragging rights, but that was just one thing I know I picked out for sure. Like, they're going to lose that game for sure.
Yeah.
So what's some crow that you have to eat, Jay?
Crow. Let me hear some crow. Do I have to?
Yeah.
Definitely not eating that.
Definitely not eating some crow. All right, fine. I have to eat some crow. All right, I'll eat a little bit of crow over here. I do. But you know what? It's for going against my instincts and understanding the fact that Buffalo is the best team in the NFL, and I knew that going in, and that's why I had them as my Super Bowl team. And I went ahead and said, you know what? They're not going to beat the Rams, even though they're favored on the road. To me, that shouldn't have come into the equation, the road, so much, because Buffalo is now battle-tested back and forth. D, you were the only one who picked that game right. I should have picked the Bills, and I'm mad at myself for not, because, again, it's not just the fact that I have them as my Super Bowl team. I think they are the best team in the NFL. Not hands down. I don't want to go that far, but I think the Bills are definitely the best team in the NFL. So I definitely have to eat crow on that, the fact that I actually went against them when I'm probably going to pick them to win every other game they play this year.
Yeah, Buffalo looked really, really good. Like you said, LA, Nikki said it. They got to get, their rhythm together. That's why I picked Buffalo, because Matthew Stafford didn't throw it during the preseason. Really, he only had a rhythm with Cooper Kupp, as we saw. Like, other receivers just were non-existent in that one. Yeah. So Buffalo looks really, really good.
Yeah, they look great.
So Mike Patton with the Titans will beat Buffalo this week. Oh, big time upset.
Yeah,
right
yeah. That's a weird Monday night back-to-back, right? They got a game starting at 7:15 and then another one at 8:30. Like, what the hell are you doing to me? I want to watch both of them. I guess I'm in a DVR one.
I'm going to probably like me on the West Coast.
For all you West Coasters out there.
And yeah, Denver did have 100 penalties, Chris. I know, what a freaking pain in the neck. My 49ers did too. Yeah. Awful. What do you eat crow on, V?
Yes, for my crow, I'm going to eat crow on the Cincinnati Bengals. I was very, very bullish on them winning and beating Pittsburgh, and it looked horrible. Now, they should have won the game when they started coming back. They could have, challenged the Jamar Chase touchdown that they didn't challenge, and it was called back. Then also, you had the missed field goal, a lot of things that they could have done differently, but Pittsburgh's defense looked great. It looked great, but we talked about TJ Watt earlier, so I don't know how it's going to be going forward, but I do think Cincinnati probably played their worst game they're going to play all year.
Maybe so, but I think it was against a really good team. I think, so I think we really have to take that into account. They went up against a really tough defense. TJ Watt was having his way. And, they got other guys, Cam Hayward and Devin Bush and Minka Fitzpatrick. It's not just all TJ Watt. Yes, he's going to be sorely, but no, I can understand that, but I don't think you have to eat too much crow on that. Maybe just like a half a crow. I don't think it's too bad.
A little bite, half a bite.
A little bit, just a little bit.
So now let's go to bragging rights and let's switch the order. Let's go with Jay first.
All right, let's do it. What am I bragging? No, I won't quit bragging. I'm going to brag right now because my 3-team parlay came in. Guys, I told you my 3 best bets of the week were Cleveland plus 2.5. They won the game outright against Carolina. I told you Detroit plus 4. They lost, but only by a field goal. Very close game. And Kansas City minus 6. Not only did I hopefully make you money, but your boy made a couple of dollars on that motherfucker too. So that's what I'm bragging about, baby. My parlay came in, and it's not every day a parlay comes in.
It's not. No. It's not for sure. So, but now that was a really good parlay that you had right there.
Thank you.
So that's a good bet right there. I like that. What are your bragging rights, Nikki?
Well, I told you go all in on the Giants and take 5.5. So did well there, and I went all in on the Vikings, and everybody went Green Bay, but I knew Minnesota was going to win that.
I was with you. I stuck with you, sister, on Minnesota. I had a feeling on that
Not
one.
you, but when you put your picks out there and people come back at you like,
Oh, yeah,
you're crazy. Like, really? I mean, Green Bay, to me, I said last week, they need a few weeks to figure it out.
Well, one of our friends up here wrote, relax. I forgot who wrote it before, but yeah, relax, because they got stomped by Damian Saints in week 1 also last year. Again, they didn't have Devontae Adams on the team, and that's an obvious stinger, but I think they will get it together. They got to run the ball more. That's a big deal with them. We'll talk about them when we go through our picks and everything, but they got to run the ball more.
For sure. I don't know if this loss feels like the Saints lost last year. Like, it felt weird when they lost to the Saints by 35 points last year. It was like,
they got killed. That was an embarrassing loss, man.
Yeah, but even me as a Saints fan, I feel like someone was off of Green Bay. Maybe they just needed some time. And none of us were really panicked after they lost to the Saints. This one feels a little different. I don't know.
All right.
But for my bragging rights, Buffalo. I picked Buffalo. You guys didn't. So I'll be my bragging rights for this one.
Good for you. Good for you.
I think that this, like, Buffalo is just juggernaut of a team. And I think they're going to be really, really good this year, if not great. So that's my big bragging rights is Buffalo. And, of course, Kansas City. I said, if you put $1,000 on it, go ahead and put $1,000. If you got $1 million, put $1 million on it. Like, I was ready. I knew that Kansas City would whoop on Arizona.
Yeah, they sure did. They put the beating on them. I mean, it wasn't even close for 2 seconds, no doubt. Yeah, that doubleheader Monday night game, Mini versus Philly, that is definitely going to be a good one.
Yeah, a good one.
That as well. That's going to be a lot of good football. Justin Jefferson, wow, unbelievable. Jeez, unreal. All right, great. So we got our bragging rights and our crow bites in. Let's get to our week 2 picks. All right, what do you say? Nikki, would you like to go first while I set this up?
Sure, why not?
All right. We're going to do the Thursday night game first, which could be the best game of the week, very possibly. Let me get our initials in there. And I am keeping everything in a special separate notebook, so there's no foul-ups of who did this and who picked that, and when we do our freaky fantasy, we'll be good. Even though I wish you guys, it'd be nice if you guys kept stock of your own picks. That would help me out.
I have them right here on my notes.
Doing it now?
Because I have them right here.
Thank you. You're helping the old man out.
You're fancy. I got this pad.
Yes, keep everything on here. Yeah, I have to.
Love it. Yeah, we're getting to the games now. Yep, we're going to talk a little bit about this. Another good one is this Minnesota Miami game, as a matter of fact. So, that'll be a nice test against them. Against the Ravens. No doubt. Oh, Mike Patton already predicting that Mahomes throws 4 more touchdowns. All right, let's see. We're going to talk about that game right now. Will he throw 4 more touchdowns? You don't have to answer that one, Nikki, but we got the Chargers going to Kansas City. Both teams are 1-0, leading the division very early on, obviously. And the Chargers did have their number last year, but right now they're dealing with some injuries like we talked about. No Keenan Allen, no J.C. Jackson. So can the Chargers hang tough and beat Kansas City?
No, and I want them to, but the Chargers have got to get their run game going. And I just think that, Kansas City is just going to outplay them. So I'm going to go Kansas City 32, Chargers 27.
Okay, so we're going to see some points scored in that game. Courtney thinks that Herbert's going to throw at least 3 TDs. I hope they both throw 5 touchdowns, D. What do you got in this game?
Man, no Keenan Allen, no J.C. Jackson. No problem for the Chargers. The Chargers with the upset. 28-24 Chargers. You heard it here first.
Oh, damn. Okay. I think that kind of would be a little bit of an upset, missing, 2 guys like that going up against the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. All right. Trey Frazier, what's up, bro? He thinks the Chiefs are going to win. I don't. I mean, I do as well. I'm sorry. I think the Chiefs are going to win. I have to go with Nikki and Trey. And, I'm with you guys on this one. I think that, look, I like Palmer. I think that he's going to fit in pretty good, but he's no Keenan Allen. And then now you're missing that extra other guy. And is Austin Eckler going to be able to carry the load? He's so great, yes, but I feel like the Chiefs are just going to score and score and score. And I know the Chargers have a better defense now, but I'm just not there yet. But still, I think it'll be a close game. But I'm going Kansas City as well, 29-26. All right. No locks on that one, obviously. That'll be a really good game to watch. Can't wait for it. Too bad we didn't decide to call that game.
No,
well,
I would not lock that game.
No, that's not a lock at all. That's throw away the damn key. Courtney says 31-28.
Like
and 30. Yeah, I like that. I want to see some high scoring action. I think that we will. Chris, the disrespect for the Chiefs. All right, Miami, Baltimore, guys. This one to me could be a defensive battle over here. They got two really good defenses. It's how is Miami going to handle Lamar Jackson? That's the question for every defense going in. If they can do something to slow him down and not allow Mark Andrews to go off, or who was it? Duvernay scored 2 touchdowns last week. It's going to be a really, really tough game, and I think it'll be close. But guys, I think that Baltimore does take it in the end, 22-19, another really close game. But I think the Ravens take it at home, D.
I agree with you. I'm going Baltimore as well, 21-17. I do think it's going to be a tough game. Miami's defense gave Baltimore all the trouble in the world last year with that blitz, and so I wonder if they're going to bring that same game plan. But Lamar Jackson looked really sharp. It's the Jets, but he looked really sharp in that game. So let's see if he continues that. I think he does to a certain extent. And I wasn't really impressed by Tua against the Patriots. He was okay, but it was more about just the Patriots not being good, honestly. So I'm gonna go with Baltimore 21-17.
All right, Mikey Patton's going with Baltimore, and this one saying Lamar's going to take the top off the defense. Nikki Courtney's going with the Ravens 20-12, and so is Trey. So is D and I. Is it a quifecta? I don't even know what we're up to.
I know, right? It's a unanimous, right? I guess that would be.
I guess, yeah, that's a good word for it.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go with the Ravens. Listen, they both defenses played well last week. Both, threw the ball okay. Both couldn't get the run game going. But, it's Ravens at home, right? And I feel like every time Lamar Jackson wins, his price is just going to go up and up and up. So I'm going to take Baltimore 23, Miami 17.
Okay. All right. That's a decent score right there. So it is official. We all got it. Slam the gavel on that one.
I do think they cover, by the way. Anybody?
What are the points? What points do you have?
3.5 Baltimore.
That's lower than I thought it would be, actually. That's kind of interesting. Okay. They're giving Miami some respect on that one. I like it. All right. Can anybody put some respect on the Jets as they travel to Cleveland and Jacoby Brissett going for win number 2 over here? They beat Carolina in Carolina last week. So the Browns, look, line of scrimmage wins it, right, D? Do you think they take care of business?
Yes, sir. Cleveland 20-10.
All right. So that is a pretty easy win right there. Nikki, you agree?
I agree. And just to give you guys an interesting stat. So Joe Flacco is 17-3 against the Browns. Now, granted, that was with the Ravens. So I know it's not going to happen. But, I'm going to take Cleveland here, 24, Jets 16, and I will lock this game in.
Okay. Locking it up. Locking in Cleveland. Okay. Not a bad lock right there. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Jets can be all sorts of tricky. I'm not sure. But, yeah, Brissett versus Flacco. Interesting matchup. Trey thinks that Mike White needs to get in there for the Jets. My friend Matt said the same thing. Like, forget about Flacco already. And Mike Patton just basically thinks that bad football is going to win. But I also think Cleveland is going to win. We're going to trifecta over here, 24-14. Cleveland. Cleveland's going to rock on that one. All right. Our next game up may be the most boring game of the week in some people's eyes, but you never know until you watch the game. That's Washington versus the Detroit Lions. Washington got a win at home against Jacksonville. Detroit, tough loss. They scored a hell of a lot of points, but Philly scored more. So there you go. This game could come down to who has the ball last, Nikki. What do you think happens here?
Yeah, I do think it comes down to that and probably like a last-second field goal. Detroit with the friggin' backdoor cover, like, man. Damn. But I will take Washington on this one. Washington 24, Detroit 21.
Nikki says Washington starts out 2-0. I like it because they were one of the teams that I thought was going to kind of like flip their record around from 7-10 to 10-7. Not a playoff team, but I do like Washington. That's interesting. All right, D, do you agree with her?
No, I'm going with Detroit. I think Detroit pulls this one out. I think Carson Wentz, we saw a little bit of that bad Carson Wentz in the second half against Jacksonville, and Jacksonville honestly should have pulled that game out. So I think Detroit pulls this one out 2017.
All right. Well, let's see. Courtney's going with the Commanders. Mike's going to go and say that Wentz is going to have 3 touchdowns and 2 picks. That's possible, but could happen in a win. All right. Let's see. I believe that Detroit does win this game. You guys know I like them this year. I think they'll bounce back. Washington is not a juggernaut by any means, although I do like the team. Antonio Gibson ran well. Terry McLaurin did his thing. And Wentz, he had good and bad moments, but I think the bad moments that Detroit may be able to capitalize on at home. So I will go with the Lions at home by a score of 28-21 which brings us to an AFC South battle. The Indianapolis Colts trying to get off that tie that they had last week against Houston as they play the Jacksonville Jaguars this week, where they have had no success, Damian, as you know very well. Yeah. Will they have success this time with Matt Ryan as opposed to Carson Wentz?
They will not. Second upset of the day I'm calling. Jacksonville will beat the Colts. I got Jacksonville. What score do I have? Hold on. I lost on my sheet here. But yeah, I got Jacksonville 27-24.
That's because you can't scroll on a piece of paper like you can the iPad.
I know.
All to pick. Yeah, no.
All right, Mikey Patton thinks the Jags are going to win this one as well. I don't. I think that this is going to be a real tight ball game where the Colts may kick a last-second field goal. They're down 16-14 and win it 17-16. They're still trying to find themselves, but I think that Jonathan Taylor is the X factor in this game. He's the best player in the field, and because of that, I'll take the Indianapolis Colts on the road. Nikki, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Colts as well, 27-20.
27-20. All right, so a decently comfortable win, but a touchdown. Courtney's got the Colts as well. Okay. All right, we'll see. What are you saying? It's not an upset if the Jags beat the Colts because they haven't won since 2014. I know that's why something's got to give over here, but let's see. There's something I have to give for your New Orleans Saints over here. I should say for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because New Orleans has had their number, D. You know this better than anybody. Unbelievable what they've been able to do them in the regular season. Yes, that one playoff game obviously screwed a whole bunch of shit up. That's a whole different story for another day. But Tampa Bay comes marching into New Orleans to play the Saints. So the Saints and Tampa Bay both looking to go 2-0. D, it's your show first, man. Who does go 2-0?
Does Tampa Bay come marching in or limping in? Looking at the offensive line,
you know what? You're right. And their receivers too. You're right.
Yeah, and the receivers as well. So because of all the injuries, I think New Orleans really found something in that fourth quarter against Atlanta. Started finding their rhythm. So I'm going with the Saints in this one. I'm going Saints 24, Tampa Bay 17.
All right. Let's just be real for 1 second. You would have picked the Saints if Gronkowski and Antonio Brown were still on the team. So no matter what, you were picking the Saints. But at least you have a really legit
last
reason.
year I picked Tampa Bay, and that's the game that I got wrong.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The one that you got right, the one time you picked against them, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Mike thinks the Saints are going to win. Nikki, what do you think?
I think the Saints, this is why Tom Brady came out of retirement, right? He was just like, no, God damn it. I gotta get the Saints.
I ain't going out like that.
This is why. I gotta slay this dragon. And he will this week. He will. All right, Tampa Bay 20, Saints 17.
Okay, so you're going with the Bucs to get the road win and get some regular season revenge over there. All right. Courtney agrees with you. He says the Bucs defense is still tough, which they are. But I was impressed by the second half and the weapons that are of use. And if Jameis Winston stays on key and plays well, I think they win this game. So I'm going to go with the Saints, 24-21. I think the Bucs are too banged up. So I will go with Damian Saints over here.
Really? Because the Saints gave up 200 yards. So
we did give up a lot of rushing yards, right? And they're going to try to do with Leonard Fournette. That is one area of concern for sure. But that O-line, I don't know if they'll be able to block the way Atlanta was blocking in that game. And like I said, in that fourth quarter, they really kind of shut it down as far as the running game as well. So I think that will make those adjustments. And Jameis was great. Just a quick tangent. I think if any other quarterback would have did what Jameis did in the fourth quarter of that game, it would have been the talk of the town for 2 weeks. That was unbelievable what Jameis did in that game.
It's a hell of a comeback, man. Didn't think it was going to happen.
Where's the highlight reel? Where's my Instagram story that you're going to send me? All this Jameis love. I was waiting for it.
We got to wait for more games before we start making the Jameis.
That's the best athlete I've ever seen.
Right? Greatest court. Build a statue.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Shoot, man. Oh, man. Carlton Davis going to get exposed this week by the Saints? Quite possibly. They are banged up a lot. So, all right, Nikki, you got Tampa. You're solo on that one. Rest of us got New Orleans over here, which moves us on now, Nikki, to your game, ironically, back-to-back, as Carolina comes off a loss at home in Baker Mayfield's first game, coming into East Rutherford to play the New Jersey Giants. And it's really, Nikki, in my opinion, McCaffrey or Barkley, who's going to have the better game? Whoever does, I think wins the game. That's my opinion. What do you think?
Yes, and I do love that the age-old debate comes along with this game of the 2018 draft, Barkley, versus Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield saying, why did they draft Daniel Jones? He's not a winner, right? So thank you for the locker room motivation. We appreciate that. Yeah, it is going to come down to the run game. The Titans didn't really go deep. So I do think that like Baker Mayfield to Robbie Anderson might, because that Giants secondary concerns me a little bit. Like I've been saying, they're very young. Wink Martindale's defense is a lot, right, to grasp. They looked a little lost and confused during the first half. So I am concerned there, but I have the Giants winning this one. I never do that. So you guys cannot call me a homer. I usually go the other way. So Giants 28 and Carolina 21.
28-21 Giants could be start the season 2-0. Who would have thunk it? Very quite possibly.
Then I will pop another bottle of champagne because I never did.
Riding the season on a good high. As Mike Patton, of course, Damien's going to change his middle name to James. You do love him. Courtney says the Giants win an ugly game, 17-13. They go 2-0. Damien, what do you think? You think the Giants started out 2-0?
I am going with the Giants, 2-0. I'm going 21-20. Giants.
21-20.
21-20.
Close game.
Oh, I don't like that.
As long as the Giants win, you'll be happy because they won 21-20 last week. So you should be happy.
I know. I hate the heart attack game, right? Where you're just like that. Like, oh,
yeah. Well, tell me about it with the Saints.
Yeah.
Don't even talk to me about the game. I had a heart attack from the second half on. It was awful.
Yeah.
I didn't terrible. I picked the Giants last week, and I felt good about it on the road. But for some reason, they only favored 1.5. And I look at the line a lot, and that tells me something. It's telling me that Carolina is probably going to win this game, and I think it has a lot to do with McCaffrey and maybe that DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson are maybe better weapons at this point than Kadarius Toney and Golladay, but Barkley is still great. Don't get me wrong. With the offensive line, I don't know. I tried to weigh it out a whole bunch of different ways, and I feel like Carolina is going to make more plays on offense. So I think they're going to win this game 23-16. Nikki, for your sake, I hope I'm wrong, but I'm going to go with Carolina on this one.
All right. I just think Carolina perpetually disappoints, right? So
for your sake, I do. Mike agrees with me. He says the Panthers are going to win this one. We shall see. All right, let's get to our next one. Very interesting, old school rough battle. New England Patriots versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's in Pittsburgh. This game is very, very interesting. Why the Steelers are underdogs in this game, I have no idea.
I know. Why?
I don't know. There's got to be something. Do they think the loss of TJ Watt is worth 4 points? I mean, that's really insane. That's a lot. Now, I know that New England does well against Pittsburgh, in the past, but different teams, different regimes. And I don't know, man, guys. I'm trying. I don't want to get fooled by the line over here, but my football sense tells me Steelers. I'm going Steelers, and I'm going Steelers easy, 24-13. Mac Jones is not even that healthy. I got to go with Pittsburgh on this one, Damien.
I definitely agree with you on Pittsburgh. I'm not going to go by that wide of a margin. I'm going Pittsburgh 17-13. I think these are two teams. Pittsburgh got lucky. They played great defense, but they also got lucky against Cincinnati, and New England was just bad. So I think this is a battle of two teams that I think are going to come to the middle of the mean eventually. But Pittsburgh 17-13.
All right, Courtney says 22-17 Steelers. I like the weird numbers in there, Courtney. I'm all about that sort of stuff, so good job. Good job. Nikki, we both got Pittsburgh. I think they're going to beat them pretty handily. Damien thinks it'll be a closer game. What do you think?
Yeah, I have it closer. I do have Pittsburgh 23-20.
23-20. Okay, so we all got Pittsburgh on that one. So trifecta city.
I don't understand why New England is the favorite, but
neither do I. I really don't.
What's the line? 2? I think it's 2.
Here's the only thing that I can possibly think of, because again, where is the game won? Somebody please tell me. Where's the game won? The line of fucking. You're killing me, guys. Anyway, so maybe the fact that Pittsburgh has a cruddy offensive line, or at least in the eyes of most, and Najee Harris is a little banged up. Maybe they're thinking the Patriots have a really good defensive day against Mitch Trubisky, and Bill Belichick will figure out a way to stop Deontay Johnson. I don't really know. And yes, Courtney, like I'm saying, Najee Harris is banged up. He may still play. Even if he doesn't, I don't know. I feel like Pittsburgh's got a bunch of weapons. And what's Mike saying real quick? Steelers, Mac Jones got some things going on, likely playing on worst offensive. Terrible offensive coordinator. They only scored 7 points against Miami. Miami's a good team, but damn. And yes, TJ Watt is out, but still, I don't know if he's worth that many points. So, all right, we're all on Pittsburgh, but somewhat hesitantly a little bit, I guess. Moving to our next game, the Atlanta Falcons. You're so happy, D. They totally blew it against your Saints, man. And now they got to go play the Rams, who lost to the Bills. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. They got to be freaking pissed the hell off right now. What happens in LA when the Rams host the Falcons?
The Rams win, but Atlanta covers. I believe the spread is 10.5. I'm going Rams 27, Atlanta 21.
Okay. So they cover. Let's see if that comes out in best bets. I don't know if that's a tease or not. All right. So he's got the LA Rams bouncing back to get their first win. One of these teams got it. Who do you think gets it, Nick?
Oh no, I think the Rams are very, very pissed off. Like they're gonna
totally agree. Yeah,
I think they cover too. Yeah, for sure.
They might. It's not a game I would bet when it's that many points, 10.5. It's a whole lot. But Courtney thinks they'll cover by his score, 28-17. And Patton, Mikey, the general, wants the Falcons to win. I wonder who that's directed at. I love it. All right, well, we're all on the Rams on that one. The next game is my 49ers. Talk about needing a bounce-back game, guys. Jeez, wow. Okay, so we lost Elijah Mitchell. We got to rely on Jeff Wilson Jr. We actually picked up Marlon Mack, so he's going to get fed in somehow. Maybe not this game, but the week after. Trey Lance has got to do a better job. Number one, we got to hope for really good weather, or at least not a torrential downpour. So maybe he can get the ball out of his hands quicker and on time and not take 15 minutes to set up, because his delivery is taking a little bit long and they're going to have to fix that. But I don't want to get into too many details. What I honestly think, guys, is that the 49ers still have a solid football team all the way around, especially on defense. Javon Kinlaw did get a little bit banged up. I think he's going to be good to go, though. I think the 49ers do get their first win. They bounce back in this game. Like what's he saying? No monsoon this time. Yeah, I think we get after Seattle. And even though Geno Smith looked really good, and I was, somewhat impressed with the way that they played a pretty good football game. The 49ers will play a sound game, guys. I'm sorry to go on and on. I just need them to win this game, and I think they will 23-17, Nikki.
I think San Francisco gets their win. I have 27-24.
Okay, I like it. D?
Yes, we can make this a trifecta. I got San Francisco 20-14.
They're going to pull it out this time. It's going to be a tough week of practice. It's going to be well needed, much deserved, and it's going to pay it off. That's what I think. All right. Cincinnati. Listen to me. Cincinnati against Dallas is our next game. So the Cowboys. Wow. I mean, what can you say? I have Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb on one of my fantasy teams in our 3rd and 3 league. Right down the tubes. I'm not even starting CeeDee Lamb because I don't think Cooper Rush can complete a freaking pass. So what does that tell you about the game? I think Cincinnati's going to blow them freaking out. That'll be my first lock. Cincinnati 30-10 over Dallas, Damian.
Yes, I'm right there with you. Lock it up. Clank, clank. Cincinnati 24-13.
All right. Do I spell a trifecta lock, Nikki?
Oh, yes. It's a trifecta, and I'm locking it. Cincinnati. 31-20.
Only 7 points they're favored. Crazy. I think they're going to win by 20, in my opinion. All right. How about our next one? Houston-Denver may not be the most fun game in the world to watch, Nikki, but the Broncos, look, they actually played a good game, and they should have won. Like Dean mentioned, a couple of fumbles that they had inside, and then obviously the horrendous putsy call at the end by Nathaniel Hackett. Do you think they get back on track this week, or does Houston get – little motivation off that tie from the Colts?
And they average like 2.7 yards rushing. That won't cut it against Denver. I think Denver takes this one 28, Houston 19.
All right, Denver, Mike's got Denver. Yes, cut down on the penalties, especially turnovers. I also got Denver in this game 27-10. I think they'll just, again, right the wrongs that they had last week, D. So I got Denver in this one.
Yes, I'm locking it. Give me Denver over Houston. No way they give away a game like that again. And Houston, I think, played out of their minds for the first 3 quarters against the Colts. And I think they come back down to earth in this one. So give me Denver 30-17.
Okay. All right. So you're locking that in pretty good. You have a lot of confidence in that. But yeah, I thought about locking it, but it's like, damn, they lost. But still, it was on the road, first game. A lot of things happened. Courtney's got Denver in this game, and Mike thinks that Houston's going to be a bigger problem for teams this year than we think. They were a problem for the Colts in week 1. Let's see what happens next. Okay. Our next game on the board, guys. All right. let's go to the desert where Arizona is going to play the Las Vegas Raiders. Damian, take it away.
You already know where I'm going with this. Lock it in. Vegas is going to beat the Cardinals. Give me Las Vegas 28, Arizona 17.
Are the Cardinals officially the Fugazi team of the year?
Yeah,
Actually, they're not even.
I don't think people expect anything from
That's
them. Really.
right. That's true.
Yeah.
Right. They're not even Fugazi. They just suck. That's what it is. Yeah, they just suck.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
They're the quantum.
Quantum fall.
I'll tell you what they are. They are this. Free falling. Yeah, they are falling way the hell down. Bad news. All right, shut up. Here we go. I'm also locking it in. I got Vegas. I'm totally with you, bro. I got a 31-21 Vegas. Lock it in. Nikki, what say you?
I have the Raiders winning 30, Arizona 27.
Okay, so some points scored in that game, but we all got the Raiders winning this one. Yes, Cardinals are Fugazi with a B-movie model coach on the sideline. I love it. Carter Adams connection. Courtney says, "Yep, Patton, Arizona gonna get beat down." Yes, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, they're gonna get beat down. All right, we got 3 games left for Week 1, guys. We have the Sunday Night Football game, which is the Chicago Bears go to play the Green Bay Packers. Old school NFC North type of action, black and blue division. The Packers got to get a win against this crappy team because Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears. He will continue to own them, but it will be a close game, 20-17. Packers defense steps up big time. What do you think, Nikki?
Yeah, he will continue to own them. Calm down, cheeseheads. Green Bay 28, Chicago 16, and that is my third lock.
Okay. Locking a divisional game, that's a little risky,
Yeah,
but
I know. I usually don't do that.
If there's any lock in a division game, it's Green Bay beating Chicago.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers literally said, "I own you."
Yes.
Yeah. For real, right?
Feel comfortable with that lock if you're going to lock anyone. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
that's
I think
good.
Chicago, they got their win. They got their Super Bowl win of the year. They beat San Francisco.
You ain't kidding, man.
They were able to go out there and splash in the puddles.
Yeah.
That was their moment. We're gonna look back at now, like Week 16, like, oh, that was their moment. That was Chicago's moment. So I'm gonna go Green Bay as well. I do think it's closer than people think, but I'm going Green Bay 21, Chicago 17.
Yeah, I got a close one too. I think it's 2017 is what I got. It's good because Green Bay's still figuring out their offense a bit, but they'll do enough and they'll have a good week of practice. Maybe Alan Lazard will be back. I'm not sure about that one, but yeah, Mike says they get right against the Bears, and Courtney thinks they're going to beat them 28-14, so that's pretty handily. 3 things are certain in life, Mike says: death, taxes, and the Packers beating Chicago. I love it.
Yep.
All right, we have a doubleheader again, Monday Night Football, which is crazy to me. That look, I would be fine if one started at 7, the other was at 10. I'll stay up all night and watch it, no problem. But for them to be overlapping, yeah, I'm going to have to DVR one and watch it right after the other one is finished. So the first game is the Tennessee Titans, who just lost a heartbreaker for them. I'm missing that field goal again against the Giants, but they are 0-1. Buffalo is 1-0. They look like the best damn team in football. I'm telling you guys, I'm locking this in. No doubt about it. Sorry there, Mr. Mike Patton. I know you think the Titans are going to pull off some bullshit win, but it ain't going to happen. The Bills are going to beat them 34-16. I think they're going to beat the crap out of them. So I got Buffalo, Nikki.
Yeah, I have Buffalo. Maybe just a little closer than you have it. Buffalo 31, Tennessee 23.
All right. I would rather see more competitive game, but yep, I'm locking in Buffalo big time on this one, D. What do you got?
Yeah, it is a try.
Yeah.
So we're going with Buffalo 28, Tennessee 14.
All right. I can't believe Mike thinks the Titans are actually going to beat the Bills.
I understand
it's
his
not
logic,
last year.
because Tennessee always wins games that you don't expect them to win. He said that a lot. But Buffalo, I just feel like this year is on a different type of focus where they're not going to lose those games that they're supposed to win. You know,
that's the thing, because they lost so many close games last year. Like all 6 of their losses were within 7 points, I believe. I think I'm right about that.
Yeah, that weird game where they couldn't score against Jacksonville. Like, I don't think stuff like that's going to happen this year.
Yeah, it's just, you have hiccups here and there. You just hope they don't happen in the playoffs, and they've done their best in the playoffs so far. They just got beaten by the Chiefs. That's what happens. All right. Let's see over here. Moving on. Yeah, the Titans did beat them in Monday Night Football last year. I do remember that, but Buffalo should have won that game. But the Titans
that was the game where Josh Allen slipped on the QB sneak. Was that that game?
Yes, that's exactly the game that it was. 100% correct. That's right. Our last game to pick is the second Monday Night Football game of the week, and that's the Minnesota Vikings, who got a win from the Green Bay Packers, and Philly, who beat the Lions in a 38-35 victory. So they're at home. They're hosting, Nikki. It's the Eagles hosting the Minnesota Vikings. Who wins?
Minnesota wins. I have it 23-20. And just so everyone's aware, the Eagles are not great in week 2. They are 0-5 in week 2, straight up and against the spread. So I don't love the week 2 stat for them.
That's an interesting, tricky Nikki stat right there. Knowledge making stat. I like that. I would not have known that. I would not have known that. Courtney thinks Philly's going to win this one 27-23. What do you think, Ding?
I'm going with Philly. I think this game is definitely worth staying up for. I think it's going to be a crazy good one. I'm going Philadelphia in a crazy shootout, 38-34.
Whoa!
Ooh, lots of points. Oh, we're gonna have fun Monday night watching that type of shit. That's great.
I hope I'm still awake. What time's that one off?
It's 8:15 or 8:30 or something.
8:15. All right.
Not too late. It's like a normal Monday night type of game.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah, the first one's just super early.
yeah, it just doesn't. Yeah, for you, it's going to be on like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. It's crazy. Now, this game could go either way. I won't be shocked whoever wins, but I'm going to pick Philly in this game to go 2-0, 27-21. So I got Philly. That concludes the week 2 picks. All right. So we got them in.
I can't believe we just picked week 2 already.
I know. Week 2. Can you believe week 2 is in the books? That's freaking nuts. Week 2 is going to be in the books. Week 1 is in the books. Unbelievable. Love this shit. Football. Don't go away. Play forever. All right. We got to do now our best bets of the week, right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. So let's get that bad boy going. D, why don't you take control of this one?
All right, so this is where we give you guys our best bets. So if you're looking to make some money, if you are gambling degenerates like me and Jason, you go and make some money by listening to us and make some good bets out there, all right? So I'll start it off, and after we all do one, we agree on one as our bet of the week. And I'm going to go right back to the well I went to last week. I went Kansas City against Arizona. Give me Vegas against Arizona. It's the same spread, 5.5. Vegas, I think, definitely wins by more than that. So stamp it. If you got your house, put a mortgage on it. I'm joking. Don't do that.
Wow. We need a disclaimer. We are not responsible if you lose your house.
Real.
Yes. Bet a responsible amount of money. But if you have a lot, put it on Vegas to beat Arizona.
There you
Buy
go.
more than 5.5.
All right. So that's your first one?
Yeah, I have a couple more, but I can let you guys go.
All right. Nick, you want to do your first?
Sure. Over under Chiefs Chargers is 54. I like the over.
Ooh.
Okay. I can definitely see that happening. They can score a hell of a lot of points.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, I wrote a few down. I think the first one I'm going to go with is I'm going to go with over on the Commanders-Lions game. It's 48.5. So I'm going to go over 48.5 Commanders-Lions. I don't see a whole lot of defense being played, and they can both score. So I like that. Could be one of those 31-28 type of games. Easily cover.
Okay. I guess a bonus one. I don't know what the over-under is for Philly, Minnesota, but obviously I'm picking the over with my score. So yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, whatever the over is, if you believe in my
50.5.
score.
50.5.
Yeah, so take the over on Philly, Minnesota. That's a bonus one. I mentioned it earlier. I think that Atlanta stays within distance of the Rams because of that running game that they have. Daryl Patterson and O-line look really good against the Saints. So give me Atlanta plus 10.5 against the Rams. Rams win, but Atlanta covers the spread.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot of points. That's definitely a lot of points. So that it's hard to cover no matter who you play. Again, that 10.5. If you win 30-20, you lose. So that's a big deal. All right. What do you got, Nick?
I love the Browns covering for the 6.5 against the Jets.
Yeah.
Take that all day. Thank you very much. That's my lock. Oh, that's my other show. I don't know what I do.
One show at a time.
He's confusing us with other shows now, Jay. Oh.
Yeah, I know, right? This is bad. She forgot what she was born.
I got to do like a betting wheel this week. Like, I don't know. I'm supposed to lock a bet. Then we do a show bet on here. I'll get it together.
Spinning the wheel of fortune. My second bet, D's going to love this because he's all about, the quantum leap with what's his freaking name? Trevor Lawrence over there. And I think the Jags getting 4.5 points at home is sweet. So I will take the Jaguars plus 4.5 at home.
See, I already put that bet in. Yep.
Did you got that too?
Done. I already put my mortgage on it. No problem.
No, I definitely like that. I definitely agree with that one as well, obviously. Another one that I like, I definitely agree with Nikki's Cleveland. And when I bet on it, it was 5.5. So I guess it's moved up to 6.5 now.
Yeah.
Gets the Jets. I still like it at 6.5 too.
Cleveland?
Yeah.
All right. So Cleveland's your third one. So you got Vegas, Atlanta, and Cleveland. Nikki, you got the over 54 in tomorrow night's game, and you got Cleveland. And now what do you got?
I have a do not bet for you. One that I would not touch.
Do not bet.
I would not touch Pittsburgh and the Patriots.
I literally like I always do. I do one bet where I put like $1 and I do all 16 games just to like give a chance. If I get all them right, you win some crazy amount of money. And New England, I was literally like, should I even put this in my crazy 16 game parlay? Like I was so scared to pick it, even though I know I have no chance of getting all 16 right. But just to do it, do
hard.
it. And,
It is hard.
Yeah,
it is very hard to do that. Gosh. All right. So
do
that's
it,
your
though?
third one. Have I done it? I've done it twice.
No, did you end up doing
Oh,
it?
did you do it?
yeah. I always do all 16 just
Yeah.
because it's the best odds. You get like plus 100,000, whatever it is. So I did it, but I did not feel comfortable with that game at all.
No.
Heard that. So Nikki, so your final one is to not play that game, correct?
Yeah, is a do not touch.
No, it's a great call. It's a great do not touch.
Then I'm gonna have to. I'm trying to pick between two, and I'll be honest because I already picked the Panthers to win outright, and they're getting 2.5. But if the Giants win by a field goal, I lose. The Bengals are only -7. I mean, again, I feel like they're gonna beat the crap. I got to go with the Bengals, man. I got to take the Bengals as my third one. So I got the Commanders, Lions over 48.5. I got the Jaguars +4, and I got the Bengals -7 for my 3-team parlay this week. And oh man, I might put in another one with Carolina +2.5. I'm gonna have to remember that. I kind of like that pick too. I know Nikki hates to hear it, but I like that pick.
I guess a bonus bet for you guys. Big fight this weekend: Canelo versus Triple G.
Yeah.
I put in my parlay Canelo by knockout. I believe it's like +850.
Oh, you do? You think so, huh?
Yeah, I think that Triple G is getting older. Canelo's coming off a loss. He got a point to prove. I think he's going to try to go for the knockout, late knockout by Canelo. So Canelo, I think it's +850 if I remember correctly by the knockout.
I don't want to get too sidetracked, but you don't think that Triple G? I mean, no, it's been a couple of years since they last fought, but you don't feel like he's got his number a little bit? No.
I think this version of Triple G now is slower. He's shown weakness. Like before, when they first fought.
Don't knock the age, man. I know he's 40 years old. Don't knock the age.
No, it's not just the age. Like we've seen him like be hurt now. Like the last couple fights, like he's got hurt to the body. He slowed down a little bit, and Canelo's in his prime. And again, he's coming off a loss. He got something to prove. So I think he's going to try to go for the knockout. So that's a good one, just like a little side bet, Canelo by knockout.
I can dig it.
Cool. These extra little bet bites we give you on third and
Yeah, you got to love that stuff. Well, speaking of extra bets, now we're going to make our 3rd and 3 bet. You both said Cleveland, and it was over the Jets. What was it again? How many points?
6.5.
6.5.
Man, where is that game again? It's in Cleveland. It is in Cleveland. 6.5. Do you like that better than Cincinnati laying 7?
I do just because Dallas couldn't mess around and have a weird game.
Yeah.
The Jets, I don't believe in that at all, especially against that Browns defense. I think the Browns defense might eat them alive.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, then we're a team over here. We're going to stick as a team. Cleveland wasn't one of mine, but if I had to pick either way, I would say they cover 6.5. I find it interesting at 6.5. It makes them say that we want you to take Cleveland, think they're going to win by a touchdown, which makes me think they're going to win by less. But let's do it. Let's go Cleveland -6.5 over the Jets.
I love the psychology of betting because it's like they're trying to entice us to should I do it?
That's what it really is, though. Listen. My father was a bookie when I was like 7 years old. I swear to God, I started learning shit then. So I get it. I get it. That's why that Pittsburgh, what do you call it? New England being a point favorite or a 1.5 favorite in Pittsburgh, everybody's jumping on Pittsburgh, which makes me think They know something we don't. Maybe something about, again, the offensive line, the line of scrimmage where New England may dominate the game. Going to be very interesting. I mean, they know what they're doing. They don't put the shit out for no reason. They're fucking smart. They really are.
And so are
All
we.
right.
So take our betting advice.
Sure. There you go. I like that. You tell them, Nick. You tell them. All right. So we got Cleveland for our best bet of the week, which brings us to our last segment of the day, ladies and gentlemen. It is fantasy, freaky fantasy football. Why do you hate it? You've done it so well before. Why do you hate it?
I just do. Hate it. Like the rules.
It doesn't get tough
change.
until like week 10, though.
That's what's
Week one is tough for me. It's just always week one's always bad for me.
You had a rough week one. You did unfortunately finish in last, but it's only week one. So just like anything else, brush it off. You had 60 points. Damian, you had 70 points. And I rocked out with 97 points.
Ooh.
Had a really nice one. Yeah. Let me just see if I can find.
I blame you, Jay. Trey Lance gave me nothing.
I know it's my fault. I know.
Didn't I take what's his name, Mitchell, and gets hurt right away? See,
Yeah.
we need to have a rule of like if your person gets hurt within the first like
You get like
quarter,
one
they
backup,
throw somebody else in.
you get like one backup player or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
like one backup player.
Figure it out.
Sucks.
My father, yeah, he knows his shit. He's listening. Home underdogs rule. At the end of the season, you will be remarkably surprised. Thank you. Great show, like always. My dad knows he's home underdogs is something that you really want to take. If you take home underdogs throughout the entire year, you will be a winner. That is true. Vegas hates me right now because I'm giving away all their secrets.
Ooh, I know.
I had Herbert, who did great. Kamara did not. Amon-Ra St. Brown did. Kelsey did, and the Ravens did. Nikki, you had Lamar, who did well. Mitchell, who got hurt. Sutton, who showed up okay. Andrews, who did not have an Andrews-type game, and the Broncos did decent on defense. And D, Lance, again, just horrible, unfortunate way to start it off. Jonathan Taylor balled out. Mike Evans balled out. Tanyan, okay. And you went for it with the Jaguars defense. Didn't pan out, but that's only week one. So as of now, guys, I do wear the title for both weeks, for both the fantasy.
It is your option, Jay, of the order we go in.
Right. I get to pick who goes first. I love that. Isn't this fun? Okay. In that case, I pick Nikki to go first, Damian to go second, and I will go last.
Why are you picking me to go first? Like now I feel like there's something behind that.
Honestly, there was really nothing to it. Whatever name came out of my mouth first was who was going. I just knew I was going last.
Aren't you a psychology major?
He wants the back-to-back picks.
Yeah, he wants back-to-back picks.
I do want back-to-back picks. That's exactly why. And I want them now. So you guys heard
JD Whitworth.
Very good. Well done. All right, Nikki, your first pick. We got quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and defense.
Okay. I will go quarterback. Let me get Russell Wilson this week.
Russell Wilson, redemption against the Houston Texans. Okay. All right. D brings us to you. You're in the middle, my friend.
Okay. Again, swipe me.
That's right.
Right away, huh? Right off the bat.
So let me go with my backup plan here. I'm actually going to go ahead and get my defense first because I've got a feeling with the way we talked about things earlier where Jay's going to go. So I'm going to try to swipe him. I'm going with Cincinnati's defense against Dallas with Cooper Rush.
Sneaky young man you are. Very, very sneaky. Okay, I see your game. All right. Blocking. Guys actually blocking me. Unbelievable. All right, I got my back-to-back picks. Yeah, speaking of that game, I'm going to take I'm going to take Burrow to light him up. So I'll take my quarterback first.
Okay.
I think they're going to have a nice offensive day. And then I will take, let's see, playing against pros over here, so I got to make a good decision. You know what? I think they're going to rely heavily on Deebo Samuel this week, the 49ers going against Seattle, and I think that he'll be able to run through that defense. So I'll take Deebo for my wide receiver.
Oh, that's good news for the Real Deal Fantasy League for me.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Also, Nikki has some bragging rights over you in the Real Deal League.
She does. She does.
Yes, I do. I got him somewhere.
That's right. She got me.
I killed you. Like I looked at him, I was like, oh my, I was like 145 to 90. I was
No.
like, oh shit.
Not to make excuses, but yeah, but Eli Mitchell went down and also Keenan
I
Allen.
know. I feel
Yeah,
your
yeah.
pain as we're doing Freaky Fantasy. I
I
understand.
know. There you go. All right, so there we go. I got Burrow and Debo to start off. D, you got the Bengals defense starting off unorthodox, trying to block me, but go ahead with your next pick.
Give me Derek Carr.
Derek Carr. Okay. Derek Carr. And that's against Arizona. That's a nice pick. I like that. All right, Nikki, you get 2 picks. You got Russell Wilson. You picked Sutton last week, so you can't pair him up with him. You want to pair him up with Judy?
No. I will take Terry McLaurin.
Ooh,
That's a nice pick right there.
he had a nice week last week.
I love McLaurin. I got him on like 3 of my fantasy teams.
Hey, how many fantasy leagues are you in?
4.
Yeah, just 10, no big deal.
Yeah, right.
I thought you was out here living like C. Lou in 13 leagues.
Oh, I know. What 13? Like
That's crazy, man. I can't handle that. That's too much.
I can barely do what I got. Like, oh
He's
my
got a lot of
God.
bandwidth for sure.
I like the McLaurin pick against Detroit. That's a good pick.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and let me get Nick Chubb.
Oh,
God damn it.
Oh,
man. She got me too. Not cool.
2 swipes.
Not cool.
Oh my God.
Man, I was definitely thinking about Chubb. I'm like, I can wait till next time. Nope, can't wait.
Come on, we are
No, you can't
professionals.
wait,
We have
Zach.
played
Well,
with
I'd
each
say
other
that's
for
what,
2.5
oh,
years
no.
now.
No
That
better.
guy, Big C, Carlton said, "Go get him. Can't wait."
Yeah, can't wait. Well,
All right.
you're up, man. Carr, Cincinnati.
So since she took my running back, I'll have to think about that. But I'll go with Devontae Adams and match him up with Derek Carr.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay. I think they're going to have a really big game. I like that. All right. So I got Burrow and Debo. I'm going to go with DeAndre Swift for my running back against Washington. Again, I think a lot of points will be scored in that game. And let me take the Rams against Atlanta. I'll take a tight end. I'll take Tyler Higbee. I'll go for it this week with him. I'll give it a shot. So I got 1 left, but I got to wait to come back around. D, you got Carr and Adams to go together and Cincinnati's defense. So you need a running back and a tight end.
I think Denver's going to play well, so give me Javonte Williams.
Okay. You looked good last night, too.
He did. He should got more carries.
Yeah, they should give him the ball a lot more. You ain't kidding, man. You're not kidding.
Yeah, he should.
You look good. All right. You got a nice team going. So does Nikki with Wilson, Chubb, and McLaurin. You get to finish it out here, Nikki, with a tight end and a defense.
All right, let me get Freiermuth from Pittsburgh for my tight
Right.
end.
You pronounce it correctly, you can have him.
Oh, okay. Thank God, because I don't pronounce a lot correctly. Let me get the Packers defense this week.
That's a good
Oh,
pick.
Good choice. Yeah, good pick.
Good pick right there. I like that. I can see them doing a lot of good things. That you got a very nice team going right there. Nice job. All right. Yeah, I don't think that Belichick is going to be trying to take away Freiermuth. Be trying to take away Deontay Johnson and Claypool. So Freiermuth is a pretty good pick, actually. It's not bad. All right. D, you got Carr, Adams, Javonte Williams, and Cincinnati's defense. You now need a tight end.
For tight end, I'm going to go with TJ Hawkinson.
It's a good pick. Very good pick. I like this game with points being scored, no doubt. I was thinking about taking him a tight end too with Swift, but I'm like, not 2 guys on the same team with this one in that capacity. Quarterback, wide receiver, different story. I got to finish it out with defense. I think I'm going to take I think I'm going to take the Rams defense against Atlanta. I think they may get a few picks here and there, a couple of turnovers, maybe one back for a touchdown. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the Rams. That concludes Freaky Fantasy Draft. To get it over, excuse me, Nikki, your team: Russell Wilson, Nick Chubb, Terry McLaurin, Pat Freiermuth, and Green Bay Packer defense. D, you got Derek Carr, Jesus Christ, Derek Carr, Javonte Williams, Devontae Adams, T.J. Hawkinson, and the Bengals defense. And I got Joe Burrow, DeAndre Swift, Deebo Samuel, Tyler Higbee, and the Rams defense. I think we all drafted really good teams this week, guys.
Yeah.
It's going to be a
And
tough
for the
one.
people who are out there watching and listening, this section, if you play like the weekly fantasy or the daily fantasy, like this section of the podcast can really help you out because we're giving you like some matchups and things like that to really help you out in those, and you know what the bargains are as well when you play those type of fantasy.
My man, well said. Right, we should have given that disclaimer at the beginning. We should have told people that's right. That's right. That's exactly. It does help because we all do relatively really well. We only pick 5 players, and very often with those 5 players only, we're up in like the 90s, 100s. A lot of the time. So we know our shit. I mean, pat on the back over here for all of us. I'll give it. Why not? Right?
Or what is it? I don't know.
Yeah, not
Are you dusting off your shoulders?
It's like wiping crap all over.
Are you Jay-Z in 2003? You get the dirt off your shoulders?
Dirt off my shoulders, dust them off. Yep.
That's freaking tastic. All right. So Cleveland is our bet of the week. 3rd and 3 bet of the week. Laying 6.5 against the Jets at home. Yeah, I feel good with that, guys. I'm comfortable with that. We got our locks in. Yeah, we are good to go. Freaky fantasy draft, everything. All right. So as of now, I won week 1 for the picks. I won the freaky fantasy draft. Let's see who's going to take my title away next week. Looking forward to it. You're the one. You call it. You win. All right. Done deal. All right. Since you're going to win, you tell everybody what's going on in the next few days with you. What's happening?
My God, I don't even know. So tomorrow,
you better know. You got to be there.
I know. I'm on I probably shouldn't say because I forget the name, but I am doing a Panthers podcast, Giants Rush podcast, talk about the matchup. Of course, you guys, Tuesday, New York Giants Rush is our 100th episode. We are going to have Lawrence Tynes on. So please tune in. It's going to be a very cool episode. We're all going to be there. Wednesday, of course. Actually, I will be traveling, so I'm going to try to do this show, but we'll see. I will be in Orlando for a work conference, so I'm either be doing it from the hotel or I'm going to try my best.
Better make it. You better make it.
Sunday, channel side bets, of course. Friday, the 24th, we're having a Leonard Marshall and New York Giants Rush party, so you can DM me if you would like ticket information. I will be there. We'll all be there. We'll have giveaways, so it will be fun. And then, of course, September 26th is the Leonard Marshall Ring of Honor ceremony where the Giants play the Cowboys. So if you want any more information on anything, just DM me at NikkiNick9384.
There you go. Well said. Just like a pro right there. Love it. Love it. From one pro to another pro. And my bro, D. Hey, by the way, congratulations on the first episode, man. Great job.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. So, yes, for me, my baby, my home podcast is The Real Deal with Damian Adams. New episode will be coming out tomorrow for that one. The 2 new podcasts that I do are under the GSMC Podcast Network. So please subscribe to GSMC Basketball Podcast and the GSMC Boxing Podcast. I have a lot of great ideas that I'll be doing for those 2 podcasts. So please go ahead and subscribe and tune into those. I released some snippets of those 2 podcasts today that people got a kick out of and reacted to. So check out the whole episode. If you like the little minute snip, you'll like the whole episode. All right. And of course, 3rd and 3 is the family. So if you already have subscribed to those podcasts I told you about, continue to subscribe and listen to the 3rd and 3 podcast because you got to do what, Nikki? Keep that good content in your life.
Yeah. Blood pressure down.
Yes. It calms you down. It keeps your blood pressure low. It keeps everything centered. Your chi is correct. You keep the good content in your life. All right. So go ahead and do those things and follow me at The Real Deal WDA on all platforms. You'll get the snippets from the podcast. You'll get quick videos of reactions to different things. Basketball season's coming around soon, so you'll be getting those, get my Saints reaction videos, all the good stuff. So, and not just Saints wins. When we lose, you'll see me in those moments too. So if you like to laugh at my pain, you'll see that as well. so go ahead and follow me at The Real Deal WDA on all social media platforms.
Real Deal Bets.
Yes, Real Deal Bets. I always forget about that. You will see those on my social media as well.
Yes.
So The Real Deal WDA on all social media platforms. You'll see the Real Deal Bets, reaction videos, promos to podcasts, a lot of content. So go ahead and follow the podcast and follow me on social media.
Beautiful stuff, guys. I love it. And I am the Sports Prophet, Jason Fierman with you every Wednesday night. 3rd and 3 is the fam. That's where it's at. Thank you for joining us tonight. Appreciate all the comments. Love you guys, and we'll see you next time. We'll get you out of here with the good stuff. Check it out.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Give me a second, I'm trying to select the appropriate weapon. Watch who you stepping, them snakes all around, you know they connected. When I was a kid, my grandmama told me I can't go to heaven, so I stopped praying and asking for blessings and started preparing for my Armageddon. Got nothing to lose, I'm all in. Walking the edge, don't fall in. Enough of the lies, don't apologize. I don't understand, are you foreign? This is the place, this is the site. Grab all your people and log in. I'm waiting, don't care how long it's gonna take.